very much. All right, you guys, Rochelle and I are so excited for today's planning because we are also going to plan for November. So we are going to take the first little block of this and plan for November because November is Tuesday. So I'm super excited to do this with you. Now, if you already printed your playbook, this is going to go kind of with your playbook. If you don't have the playbook, that's fine because I'm going to explain it and you can basically go ahead and write these things down in your planner or in whatever you want. But to first start out, you guys, I want you to get really clear on your fives for you, the comp plan in the company, and for the products. And I specifically don't want you to focus so much on having to have five. If you have three, focus on the three. If you have two that you can confidently talk about the two. Just because it says fives doesn't mean that like you have to be five. Okay. I am someone that takes things so literal. And for the longest time, I literally thought I had to have five and like be talking about five. And like sometimes I felt all over. But guess what? There are moments where I'm really passionate about the weight loss. There's moments that I'm really passionate about the energy. There's moments I'm really passionate about the mood. And sometimes I'm all of the above, right? For the products. There's moments I'm really passionate about what weekly pay is doing or the VIP or whatever bonus we have. Like, do you see what I'm saying? How those are going to ever be changing for you? So don't get so caught up in that you have to have five and always be talking about five. Let your heart lead you where it wants to lead you. And maybe it's three, maybe it's four, maybe it's five, maybe it's two. Like I said, maybe it's 10, right? There are a lot of things I love about this company, a lot of things I love about these products, so on and so forth. So I want you to, we're going to time block. I want you to get really clear on your fives for you, the products, and the comp plan. And I want you to really look at your pain points and write out some pain points that you want to focus on this next month. Maybe there's some places in your life that you want to start peeling back the layers. So for example, maybe like when it comes to the business side, maybe credit card debt and the holidays and how you used to always have to put things on credit, and this year you're going to be able to do it with cash because of this weekly pay, and start pulling back those layers, right? So maybe your pain point is like always having to depend on credit cards, and you can write that down so then you know when you're creating your content, you can start to peel back those layers and tell stories on it. Right. That's just for an example. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to block this out for just a few minutes. Yep. Brain dump. This is a portion that you can either take a notepad. If you printed out your playbook, you're going to use the playbook papers in here, the fives, things like that. Or just take a piece of paper, and I want you to really get clear. I'm going to mute myself for the next few minutes. And I will drop in the chat what we're working on. If you guys have any questions, as always, drop them in the chat and we will answer them. So get really clear on you and what you want to focus on this next month. Okay. So if you want to drop your fives, I love that Rochelle did that. Drop them in the chat. Might help others who maybe are struggling with that or what you want to focus on. So I was telling Rochelle like kind of where I'm going with my focus. And last night I kind of wrote up like so that my content map, everything just kind of flows. I figured out my three things. Like for me, I'm focusing on three. That's where I feel more confident and comfortable talking. Too much change for me gets me all over the place. So I can get really deep, especially with the type of person I am, on like three things. So for me personally, when it comes to the products, you guys, like that's when I was saying weight loss, energy, and mood support are my biggest things with the products. When I try to add in the others, it's where I lose the confidence in writing about it. It's where I lose the passion in writing about it. Does that make sense? So I realized I was trying to have five and talk about five when really those three for me, I can talk to you till I'm blue in the face and you will see the passion come through. Not that the other things don't make me passionate, but those ones really just get my heart going. Right. So
I also feel like when you try to do more than that, it makes your content feel kind of all over the place. And I know for me, like I feel like I'm trying to talk to a million different people. And I think it's really important to, like she said, pick those 2 to 3 and just like talk to those people for that entire month. Like stop trying, like we don't need to talk to everybody. So I really like that you're bringing that in this month to kind of just focus on those like three, because I think it's going to allow people to feel like less overwhelmed.
yeah, absolutely. I love that you pointed that out and talking to the you, right? The one person. That was something you guys, I'm doing the boot camp again. Rochelle had brought me along and was like, let's do this boot camp. So I tagged on to her with what her team was doing. And you guys doing that boot camp has really helped me. I don't know if you guys have not done it again, the boot camp from this year. I'd really suggest you starting it over. I have been getting so many little bits from it that I forgot that I like needed. Does that make sense? So if you guys are in a place where you're like, you know what, I want to focus on something and training, that has been my business personal development for the last 30 days. I'm not focusing on anything else. I'm not focusing on watching a bunch of other things. I'm focusing on those 10, 15, ish minute videos that Linz is putting out. And that's all I'm focusing on. That's where I'm reprogramming my brain. So just something to do if you guys want something to do. It's fun. It's going to really help you in your business. Okay. So this next section, you guys, we are now going to get goal oriented and get things in order. And Rochelle is going to touch on after how she grabs numbers and so on. But first I want you to focus on how many samples you want to get out this month. So if you have your sample tracker that you get in your playbook, I always write the name, the month on the top and how many trials I want to get out. So figure out how many trials you want to get out this month. What is your new PPA goal? And don't just think volume, you guys. Also think like number, how many customers, how many promoters. Yes, I do both. I do volume and customer and promoter. And the reason why I do that is because it gives me more ways to hit it. If I just do volume and let's just say I put a big volume number and then I don't hit it, I've kind of lost sight of the fact that I brought new people in, right? I brought new customers in or I brought new promoters. Like we always say, you just have to help one person thrive, right? So think about that. If you actually say, I want to help 5 people this month versus I want to have a 1600 PPA. And let's say I help like 3 people. I've changed 3 people's lives with these products, right? Don't lose sight. So I like to have the multiple. So new PPA goal, I like to have volume, how many promoters and how many customers. Your team volume. So you're going to see, and Rochelle will explain this too, you're going to see basically what you end at this month, whether you're by yourself as a promoter or you have a team, whatever it may be, just see where your QV is at and set your next goal. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. Sometimes I'll go really big with the numbers. Sometimes I just try to go by like 20%. I just try to grow by 20 to 30%. Sometimes I'll like pray and I'll say like whatever number comes to me, then I write it down. Sometimes a number just hits me. Okay. So, and then you can figure out your rate to run. So if you guys are not using this sheet, that you can do for your rate to run where you fill in the bubbles, like you color, I really suggest you doing it. Because I will tell you this much, that I did that in the month of September. I had one of my biggest months. This last month, I slacked off with coloring in my bubbles, and my numbers are nothing compared to September. There's proof in the pudding, you guys. So really focus on that, get that rate to run. And I also love to color. So that makes it a thing too. Then you're going to also pick out your goal financially. So what do you want to make in the month of November, and what are your weekly paychecks going to do for you? So whether you want to break it down to what you want to make weekly or what you want to make for the full month, decide what makes you tick better. And then your real goals, your TikTok goals. So real and or TikTok, if you're not on the talk, that's okay, whatever your real goals are. And if you plan on doing any lives. So I dropped it in the chat. Those are the things we're going to be working on. And then Rochelle's going to kind of touch on how she picks up goals.
Yeah, so what I do, guys, before I set all of these goals is I open my Cloud Office and I look at, so obviously the month's not over, we still have tomorrow, but you have a pretty general idea at this point of where your volume and all of your numbers are going to end this month. So what I do is I pull up that Cloud Office and I have a little sticky note here and I fill in, I have like the sections that I want to fill in. So I'm going to fill in where I'm ending cute, like volume wise, like overall volume wise. I'm going to fill in what my PPA was for this month. I'm going to put how many samples I got out, what my PV was, how many new customers I enrolled, how many new promoters I enrolled, and how many times I went live. And then if there's any other numbers you want to fill in there, put that. So I plug everything in so that it's right in front of me and I can see what I did or didn't do this month. And then what I do on another sticky note or wherever, is I put all of that again, but then I set what my goal is for November. So like I told Christina earlier, I was like, I'm always striving, and you guys should too. I'm always striving to be better than I was last month. So I like having that in front of me so that I can right beside it be like, okay, this is where we finished this month. This is where I want us to finish next month, so on and so forth. So that's what I do. So pull your Cloud Office up right now, look at everything, and then based off of that, figure out what all of your goals are for November. There was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, lives. Okay, so I did a live challenge with my team. We did a 7-day live challenge. And for me, guys, I'm almost 3 years in, and lives are something that I've never done consistently. They're kind of scary to me, or they were. There's something that I think, like, I convinced myself they took a lot more time and effort than they actually did. So they were just one of those things where I was like constantly putting them off in my business. Every week I said I was going to do them, and then I never did. Right. And you guys know, I always say, like, the things that we are avoiding doing are the things that are going to bring us to that next level. For me, that was lives. So we did a 7-day live challenge. And there were like 10 or 11 of us that went live every single day for 7 days. And these were all people, for the most part, who were just like me, who kept putting it off, putting it off, putting it off. And by the 7th day, I like did not even hesitate to hit that live button. My heart wasn't pounding out my chest. Like, I could actually get on and talk without like stumbling over my words. And so all of this to say, I have seen just in those short 7 days how quick they're like you can get comfortable with them. And 2, I said to Lindsay, I was like, why have I convinced myself for so long that lives are so difficult? Like, literally 5 to 8 minutes is all you need for a live, 5 to 8 minutes of your day. But I feel like we tell ourselves they take so much longer than that. So I want you guys to challenge yourself. If lives are something that you do not do consistently, I told my team, I was like, I'm not even setting a goal for lives at this point anymore. I was like, lives in my business are now going to be a non-negotiable. I'm not going to do them every day, but I'm going to set a non-negotiable for 3 times a week. I'm going to start going live. And especially, like, guys, bonus season, like November is the last month, with like the new Thrive Elite coming out and just everything that's going to be happening. You want to get super loud and proud, and you want to get out in front of as many people as you can. So I highly, highly recommend you start going live. And like I said, make things like that a non-negotiable, not just a goal.
If you're just hopping in from the waiting room, we had a couple, and I don't think you can see the chat up. We're working on sample goals for the month, the new month, your new PPA goal, volume, and then number of customers, promoters, your team QV goal, getting your rate to run, what you want your monthly income to look like and what it's going to do for you and your family, your reel and or TikTok goals each week so that you can get your live video out there, and then your live goals. And I would definitely circle back if you're just hopping in once I drop the recording, because Rochelle gave some really good tips on how to get some, go into your cloud office and grab numbers and so on to set goals and all of that. So I definitely recommend circling back once this drops to grab that. If you guys need another minute to plan what we've done so far in these last two blocks, drop it in the chat. If not, we'll move on. Okay. And you guys, I dropped the word or the blurbs of what we were doing. You can copy those and paste them into your notes. So this way you always have that and you know how we plan our months. And then obviously Rochelle and I, as we adjust or as we add things, I'll always update the notes and drop them in here like we do. But you can then put them into your like a notes folder or anything like that. So I personally will be recording, this recording will go on to my personal YouTube, which is Christina Tammy. And then I always drop it in the Limitless chats and so on. So if you're not in that, it'll go up on my YouTube, which is Christina Tammy, and then it will probably load like later this afternoon. Sometimes it takes a while with my internet, but my husband's not home streaming, so I might go quicker.
So someone in the chat asked if I go live on all platforms or just Facebook. So I personally, this last week, I switched back and forth between Instagram and Facebook. Just because I haven't really been going live, I really wanted to see like where I got the most interactions, where I got the most viewers, like stuff like that. So I kind of switched it up back and forth, but there were some days that I went on Facebook, did what I needed to do, and then immediately went over to Instagram and did the same exact live. But I've also seen people do them both at once. So you can like put Facebook up on your phone over here, and then on your laptop, you can have like Instagram or vice versa, and just kind of two birds, one stone that way.
If you have like old phones too, you guys, like, you know, sometimes you don't turn in your old phone or whatnot, you can always use like two phones. Do you know what I'm saying? I personally, my husband I think is going to be needing a new phone here soon. And I don't know if we'll get much for it. So I was like, I might just keep it so I can do dual things, because for some reason on my computer, I always have like issues trying to go live. I don't know why. But you can always, you know, go on multiple devices too. If you have a multiple device or an iPad, things like that, that allow you to do that, you can always use two devices. Yeah, there you go. So this is actually a really cool, like I have a ring light. I'll show you guys real quick. In case you are like looking for a new ring light or anything like that, this one actually holds up to 3 devices. So it holds one phone in the main center and then 2 phones on the bottom. And it's also compact. So I don't know about you guys, but I have like really OCD, especially in my office. So this just slides right behind my mirror. It's very easy. I got this on Amazon. Yeah, I'll send you the link, Ashley. So it just fits very easy. If you need to travel with it, you can too, but it fits multiple devices. So if you're somebody that like is looking for that sort of thing, you can always use that if you need a ring light. And I think it was only like 30 something bucks. So it wasn't too bad. I know you're always, that's so funny. Okay. So how are we feeling so far, you guys? Yeah, Adele, message me, and then I'll give you the link. So this way I don't forget, you guys. If you want the link, just message me. I'll go through because it was like over a year ago I got it. And then I can send it to you. So hopefully it's still available. I'm over here telling y'all. Okay. So now let's go ahead and we'll move on. I'm going to drop in the chat right now something that I want you guys to all copy to your notes, because these are things that you are going to finish and wrap up after the Zoom. Okay. So this way, we don't take up too much more time planning for the month. We can start planning for the week, and then we can get into batching. So these are things that I want you to wrap up in the next couple of days. Write out your auto ships for the month, right? So using your playbook, you guys, and if you don't have the playbook, that's okay. Go through all your auto ships that you have. You could even just make like a piece of paper, 10, 15, 20, 25, write down everybody that's scheduled to have an auto ship run. This way, you know who you need to check in with and whatnot. Use the blank calendar in the back. If you don't have again, you don't have the playbook, that's okay. Oh, sorry. Were you saying something, Rochelle? Oh, okay. Sorry. I heard something. Spooky season over here. The blank calendar, this is great. Rochelle can touch on this after too, how she schedules like her promos, her personal promos, team promos. I'm really excited to dive into that and get really big on like what promos I want to run, especially once my credits load, and think outside the box, because we're going to content plan together. And like I said to you, I use the content map to plan for the whole month. I kind of already know how things are going to look and be structured, right? So I can look at that blank calendar and figure out, okay, this is kind of where I'm going with my topics. We picked out the 5s that we want to focus on, our pain points that we want to focus on. So I know what I can then offer, right? I know what I'm going to be talking about, what I'm going to be basing a lot of my content around. So I know maybe what plus line items I can offer for free, or maybe I'm going to do goodie bags of collagen because I'm going to be talking about hair. Do you get what I'm saying? How like this all kind of wraps up together. So use that calendar to plan out some promos for you and your team. If you have a downline, the next couple days or into this next week is the great time to start scheduling any one-on-ones with your downline. You guys, I can't even tell you, and scheduling your one-on-one with your upline, right? They don't know that you need them if you don't reach out and reach up. Like I'm always saying to Lindsay, like, hey, hi, can I have a one-on-one? Sometimes it's just for me to like touch base with her and just say like, hey, like, where do you think I should pivot? Or like, I'm trying this. What do you think? Like, I always like to stay connected. I'm 4 years in, you guys, and I'm still very connected to my enroller, right? Because that is just, you have to stay close to the fire, and staying close to the fire is even in those one-on-ones. Don't be afraid to ask them for a one-on-one and so on. Or if you, let's say your enroller is MIA, but you really connect with a sideline sister or something like that, just reach out to them and say, oh, Rochelle, see, we're always on the same page. Or reach out to a sideline and say, hey, do you think like we could just schedule a little one-on-one or even just a text chat? Like some of my girls are like, I can't really get like on a one-on-one. We can't find a time. So I'm like, okay, well, just shoot me what you need to talk about, and we can just talk through text for right now and voice memo or whatever we need to do. So figure out what works for you, but plan those. And then we're going to plug in the month of Zooms. And so I'm going to go over that real quick, but when we hop off of this, I want you to plan your month of Zooms. And the reason why I say your month and not just your week is the holidays are coming, you guys. Things are going to get really, really busy. And the easiest thing to do is put your business on the back burner. But if you have your Zooms already scheduled for 2-3 weeks from now, it's very easy to say, oh, shoot, I can't do it at that time. Can you do 11 actually? Because I get off of a Zoom at that, like I'll be done at that time. Or, hey, can we do 1 o'clock versus this, or whatever the case may be. Keep your business a priority. One thing I love is that if you, once the graphics drop, especially in Limitless, things have been simplified. Okay. Are there still all of our normal Zooms on Wednesday and Thursday? Absolutely. But the season is coming of busy, you guys. So keep things simple. Work with me's, get on all the work with me's that you can, right? That's you working your business. So those are huge for you to stay accountable, get that hour work in and so on. For me, Mondays, Sundays and Mondays are non-negotiables. I plan my week, Mondays are non-negotiables. And if I can hop on other trainings, I will, right? But I also know life is going on and I'm pulled in multiple different directions too. So keep things simple. Plan out your month of Zooms. Work with me is everything. You guys look at your schedule. Some of them things can be moving pieces, but for me personally, I know myself, I do better if I plan out the whole month. That's just personally me. Maybe you're a week by week, but let me tell you, it's going to get busy. It's going to get crazy. And I don't want you looking back and saying, I wish I would have planned better. Plan now. You can always move the pieces if you need to, but plan those Zooms, plan those work with me's. Okay.
And I feel like there's never been a more important time to like time block your days either, because like she said, the holidays are coming up and it's going to be really, really easy for you to put your, because like you guys know when life happens, you know, when things are thrown at us and we're in busy seasons, the first thing to get thrown to the back burner is always our business. Right. So it's super important to time block your days. So something I've told my team lately, because I have a lot of people who are, the heck, a balloon just came flying at me and no one's down here. Here's ghosts. Spooky season. I have people who are struggling with new like work schedules and things like that. People have had new babies. And so my advice to them has been, I want you to take out like a piece of paper. What time do you wake up? That's where your day, that's where your paper is going to start at. What time do you go to bed? And then I want you to fill in the spaces, like not like, don't put Thrive in there yet. What do you do? Like, what time are you getting your kids up and ready and off to school? What time is your like child going down for a nap? What time do you have extracurricular activities? What time do you work? Like this, that, and the other. Once you have all of that in there, where can you fill in, like, where can you set your office hours? Where can you like set aside time to sit down and work? It might not be like for me, I have like a 2.5 hour chunk at one point. You might not have a 2.5 hour block of time during the day, but there's times throughout your day where you can split it up into like 15, 20, 30-minute increments, right? Here, like throughout your day. Don't tell me that there's not, because how many times a day do you guys sit down and you like catch yourself scrolling or like doing things that aren't getting you anywhere? Just, you know what I mean? Like lollygagging around your house. But this is where you have to create that self-discipline. Like if you want it bad enough, you're going to find the time and you're going to set those hours and you're going to make sure that you're sitting down and doing what you need to do. So like I said, right now is the most important time because November, December, they are crazy busy. People are going to be traveling. We're going to be having family over. We're going to be out Christmas shopping. Come Tuesday, our decorations are going up, like all the things, right? Ashley, don't even shake your head at me. So I want you guys to do that. Okay. Set those office hours.
So those are things you guys, after we hop off of here, just wrap up those things in this next couple days, especially because that's for the rest of the month. And you guys, there is so much life that's going to be happening as well. If you struggle with being in your stories and being face to face, or you feel like I don't ever know really what to post about, I'm always so Thrive. This is the perfect time to start building that you aspect. Show people what you're shopping for. Go ask people, hey, I have a very like sister-in-law who never loves anything I get her. What are you buying your sister-in-laws? Do you get what I'm saying? Start to use this holiday season or like Thanksgiving. Hey, what are you guys bringing to your next Thanksgiving party? Like, should I bring cookies? Should I bring this? I don't know. Start thinking outside the box and using the holidays, anybody Black Friday shopping, as your way to start building the confidence of the you part. If going face to face in your stories about Thrive is something you struggle with, it's going to be a lot easier to go face to face in your stories talking about you, right? Because that's just you. So start you part going face to face, and then you can start to add in the Thrive and fold it in. So start getting comfortable where you feel comfortable, and then start building and getting into the uncomfortable. if that makes sense. Yeah, don't worry, I'm already like, how many trees should we do? So I'm in the spirit. Okay. I'm in the spirit. I'm also in the, I think I need everything new spirit. So that's a bad spirit to be in. You guys, Keith is not excited about that spirit. And I've been talking about that. You guys have been doing a lot of reels that talk about how I can't stay on budget. Hi, I'm the problem. Do you know how many people are in my inbox? Like, girl, same, right? I'm having conversations about to other women who can't stay in the budget. And guess what? I'm talking about weekly pay. Do you guys see how everything wraps together? Those little things that you think are so mundane and nobody cares about or aren't relatable are truly relatable and can circle back. So now we're going to go into the content map, you guys. And if you were on, who is new to this week's Zoom that didn't content map with Rochelle and I last week? Drop it in the chat. We did some screen sharing last week. I learned how to do that. That was a good time. All right. So we got some new, okay, me. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to, Rochelle, do you want to touch on the content map or do you want me to? Because I know this was like your.
I mean, that's up to you. Are you trying to screen share again, or are you just like?
Oh, yeah. Let me figure that out.
Just
Hold
for
on,
people. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Hold on, guys. This might be a few minutes.
Oh, Lord. Hey, love me for me.
Just for people who are new and haven't seen it, but I do want to tell you guys how to find it because I've received a couple text messages this morning asking. So if you're in the Limitless Facebook page and you go in there and you use the little search tool, it is saved under the hashtag planning your week. So you're going to find one that's like auto-filled. It's already filled out for you. You can use that one, or you can, I printed a blank one. Because something that I'm going to do that Christina and I had talked about is I'm going to map out. So October is just about over. I've been using this one in October. November, I'm going to fill out a completely new one. And this is the one that I'm going to follow for the 30 days. Now, I was talking to people last week. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's pull that up if we can. Okay. We're getting there. Christina, I'm so proud of you. You really didn't struggle that hard this time. Look at you go.
Oops. Hold on.
Where are you going?
I don't know. Why can't I find it? I thought you could just search in the page. This is all.
It's under, you know how to search in there? You can go down to the right. See it right there next to invite, the blue invite button.
Hold on a
See that
second.
little
I think
search
it's
tool?
because I can't see the full screen when I'm sharing because you guys are over here.
Can you drag us over?
Okay, there we go. I moved you to the bottom. Wow, that was cool. Okay.
I don't know that it's going to come up that way. It doesn't.
Oh, what did
for
you
me
say to
anyway.
search?
It's under the hashtag planning your week.
So I just search hashtag planning your week.
I think so.
You guys, here we
There it
go.
is. Okay, yeah, let's pull up. There you go. Okay, so you guys see, so you guys can use this, right? And if you're not in Limitless, go ahead and screenshot or fill out as you need to. But basically, we've got our focused IPAs. So every single day, Monday through Sunday, all of November, those would be like your focused IPAs for each of those days. Your posting topics. Now, this is where what do I talk about all the time? Pain points. It's where the pain points come into play. Okay. So the posting topics are going to be like your fives, right? You guys know I always talk about the freaking onion. I really need to come up with a new analogy. But basically, the posting topics are that first layer. Okay. So let's just go to Tuesday, right? Weekly pay. Okay. So I know on Tuesdays, every single Tuesday for the month, I'm going to talk about weekly pay. But it's not going to be the same thing every week, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my pain points and I'm going to pull a different pain point each week that ties into weekly pay. So maybe that first week, I'm going to talk about how, my husband's military and, the pay is very low. They are overworked and they are underpaid. And, we struggled for a long time. And so insert Thrive and like those weekly paychecks have done X, Y, and Z for us, right? And then maybe the second week, I'm going to pull a different pain point, again, still under weekly pay, but instead of talking about like low military pay, I'm going to talk about how we used to have to play like Russian roulette with our bills, and we would have to pick and choose what got paid on time and what had to wait until 2 weeks later when he got paid again. So do you guys see how like it's still all tying into weekly pay, but they're different stories that I'm telling? And that is how you can literally take one content map and follow it through an entire month, because your stories are all going to be different. And you can still stay, like if you guys picked your 3 things that you're going to focus on for each list, you can still stay right there. It's just the stories are going to be different. So I really like this because on Sundays, and Christina and I talked about this last week, I got really almost like tired and like my brain was just fried every Sunday when I had to pull like 7 completely new things to talk about each week, right? And there was no, like, I was just kind of going through the motion, putting things down just to put things down to say I did it. But with this, like, I don't have to do that. You know what I mean? It's already there for me. It's never changing. I just need to figure out which pain point. So it's a nice like structure for those of you who need like structure, like I do and Christina and stuff. This is like the best tool ever. So that is what the content map is. So like I said, you guys can take this one that's already there, or if you want to print the blank one, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill out my focused IPAs. I'm going to put in my post topics. So I'm going to take out that little sticky note of the 3 different things that I'm going to focus on, and I'm just going to plug them in. And then my story focus. Most of the time, my stories kind of go hand in hand with whatever my posting topic is. So if Mondays before Thrive, exactly like this one, if I'm talking about Mondays before Thrive as my post, my story is going to be samples or before and afters, or it's going to have something to do with like the products or like Mondays before Thrives. You know what I mean? So I think that's what we're going to take a second to do now, right, Christina? You can go ahead and take over.
Yes. Hold on, let me stop this. Okay. So yeah, that's what we're going to do right now. You guys, we're going to mute ourselves. Let's say you don't have the map printed out. That's okay. Just take a blank piece of paper, go, Monday through Sunday, and then just put your focused IPA, your IG posting topic, or Facebook and story. I personally have 2 different maps because on IG, I post differently than I do on Facebook. So I have a content map that's also just for Facebook. My stories are linked, so I don't ever have to worry about what's going where. I personally don't do extra on Facebook stories. That's just me. Everything is on Instagram and carries over. But my IG, I post twice. I'm doing the challenge. So I'm doing a reel a day and a post a day. So my IG looks one way, where my Facebook, I'm not posting twice a day. Sometimes I will if it's on my heart, but I'm only posting once. So I'm making sure to keep my brand going on there, and then also my Thrive stuff. So I just you can print off 2 of them, 2 blank ones. And then if that's how you like to do things too. And the thing is, you guys, it's not different. My Facebook is not different. I'm taking the same stuff I'm posting on Instagram and I'm repurposing it onto Facebook. It's just not hitting it the same because I'm doing, let's say 14 posts altogether on Instagram for the week. I'm only doing 7 on Facebook. So do you see now this week on Facebook, I've got 7 posts from last week on Instagram that never saw the daylight on my Facebook. So I'm going to go and grab some of those, throw those up. So do you see my Facebook is actually like always one step behind my Instagram. I never have to think. I just pull and grab and it goes right over there. So a lot of overwhelm can happen, you guys. But if you do this and you content map and then you take your stuff and repurpose it, you take the overwhelm away. So if you guys have any questions for Rochelle and I with this, if you're confused or anything like that, let us know. A great thing to do is just start with using the one that's already there as an example and then start tweaking it. So maybe this week you're like, I'm just going to try it as is because I don't really know what way I want to flow or how I want to do things. And then mark this up as you're doing it and be like, oh, you know what? I actually would really like to do this. And then next week when we content map, you can just fine tune and tweak whatever you need to, and so on and so forth, because every business needs something a little bit different, right? My business, you're different. My business, your business, everything's a little bit different, right? So just tweak according to what your business needs. Yes. And like Rochelle said, she keeps one for both platforms. So do what works for you. Personally, my brain has to see both. because I am somebody that will get too Thrive heavy. I get really excited about Thrive. Okay. So my Facebook will become all Thrive if I don't remind myself I have to post my brand on there. So that is why I separated it.
Christina, I don't know if you, I just want to tell them how I do this. So I don't know if you on your content map put in your branding post ideas, like if you pre-plan that stuff. You do. Okay. So I want to share this because I don't. So my content map is strictly my business my business posts, my business stories. For me, my branding stuff is more like from the heart, like day to day. So like my reels and stuff, if I see, like I try to do like a military wife reel or something every day, that's just something that I think up on the spot and I record it and I post it. Like if my kids tomorrow, like I know it's Halloween, so I know my branding post tomorrow is just going to be my kids in their Halloween costumes. On Tuesday, like maybe I just cleaned a spot in my house or whatever, and I want to show like that corner of my home. That's going to be my branding post for the day. So for me, my brand is like a day-to-day thing. I don't pre-plan that. It just kind of comes like right from the heart and from the moment. So it's okay if you're like that, but maybe you are like Christina and like you have to, yeah, go ahead and you talk about that.
Oh, no, I was just going to add, so I don't plan exactly what I'm going to say. Rochelle is really good about adding in her personal. I had to know myself and I got very, it was hard for me to add in my personal. So that is why I say I do 2 different maps, because I don't say what I'm going to talk about. It just reminds me to talk about my brand. So like I have like on Mondays, like Mondays before Thrive, second post personal brand. Does that make sense? And then I know what my personal brand is off of what my 5s are for it. So like Rochelle said, I do that from the heart, but I put on my map to remind me to post my brand. And that's why on Facebook, I use the same map that's on Instagram. So like Mondays before Thrive, Tuesdays weekly pay, Wednesdays brand. And then I put in there what my brand 5s are. And then I just kind of speak from the heart on that or whatever, maybe it's inspirational. Then I have, pick a comp plan 5 brand. So I, like Rochelle, I speak from the heart on it, but I have to put it down visually to remind myself. So that's what I meant by I plan it. Okay, you guys, how are we feeling on our content maps? We're feeling good. I'm going to throw up the background work that you guys need to also make sure to fit in. Personally, you can put this onto a map as well, you guys, which is something I have done and getting better on, so that my weeks, I already know what I'm doing, like what background work I'm doing for the week. So a lot of it we've already done, you guys. I will update this for the next week. But we've already talked about most of it, but I'm just going to throw it up here so that you can put this into your notes as well, and that you can make sure to get that background work in. Those are like the follow-ups, the things that you're not seeing what others are doing on the back end, the thank yous, the following up, the planning sales, planning your week, reaching out to their upline, putting in the work with me Zooms and things like that, scrolling sounds, getting getting sounds ready, reels, TikToks, creating reels. So creating things, taking photos, getting their photos and putting filters on it, creating story content, which you guys, Rochelle, always says, and I love that. I love this because this changed my business when it came to story content, is just taking my posts and bringing them into story content. And sometimes you guys, I'll be in the moment posting a story and have a really good blurb. And I actually then take it from my story and make it a caption. So in case you are ever like that too, I then copy it and then I put it into my notes and I'm like, this is also going to be a really good post. And then I make it a post, because you got to think sometimes people are seeing your stories, but they're not seeing your reels. They're not seeing your post. You know what I'm saying? So don't always assume just because somebody is on your network that they're seeing every area of your business, because they may not be. Some people are all over checking it all. Some people are only in stories. Some people are only watching your reels. Some people are only seeing your stagnant posts, right? So keep that in mind too, you guys. Not everybody is always seeing everything.
Something I recommend doing too is if you put a post up, like she said, you can take it and you can break it down into like a couple story slides. Yes, but you can also, something that I do recommend you doing is some of those days, instead of recreating them into story slides, take your words and go face to face in your stories and like basically like mirror what your post was. Cause I tell people this all the time, like some people, they will read your graphics, right? Some people will, but some people are just going to tap through them, where other people, like on the other side of that, there are people who like when people get face to face and actually talk in their stories. So they might not read your story slides, but they're going to listen to what you have to say. So like for me, it's my way of kind of hitting everybody in my network. So I switch it up. I kind of like make it a point to, like, if I know that yesterday I had an opportunity story slide up, today I'm going to go face to face about it.
I love that. I love that. All right, guys. So we did a lot this Zoom because we had to plan for the new month. So we'll go ahead and do just a few batching. If that works with everybody, if you have to hop off, we totally understand, but just kind of keeping in mind the last Sunday, or like if the first Sunday of the month is right near the beginning of the month where we can plan, that Zoom may be a little bit longer because we want to plan the months with you guys, just so that you're not trying to do it alone or anything like that. So this way we can get you focused and ready for the new month. So Rochelle, do you want to take it away with some batching?
Yeah. Would you guys rather finish planning, like plugging in your background work and stuff like that? Or do you guys want to take like a couple minutes and batch out a couple posts? Can you guys let me know? We're gonna do whatever you guys want to do. Like this is for you guys. So let me know. Batch out. Okay, batch. Okay, you guys got it. Let's do that then. All right, so let's do Holly, you're late to the game. Sorry, we're batching. I'll set a timer for, let's do 3 minutes and we'll just do a couple. So, all right, I'm going to take out my content map. I'm going to look at what Monday is because that's tomorrow. So for me, I'm going to talk about so my topic for tomorrow is what has Thrive done for you? So that's what I'm going to batch out right now. I'm going to talk about the energy and motivation that it has given me. So I'm going to create a post around that. Whatever it is for you, go ahead and do that. I do them in the notes section of my phone. So you guys know, if you're not new to this, each month. So I'm going to actually create my November folder. That way all of my captions and everything are right in there. They're easy to pull and just copy and paste. So, all right, let's set a timer. You guys want to know too why I like doing these folders for each month? Because I just pulled up my November folder because I've been doing this for so long and this is how I've been keeping track of everything. So my November folder, it's last year and it has 15 different posts that I had done last year. So I can literally just take these and like repurpose them. Obviously, I might switch up the wording a little bit because maybe some things have changed, but this just made my life so much easier. You guys know I talk about this too. Like one of my like IPAs, I guess if you want to call it, every single morning I open up my Facebook memories for this exact reason too. I love being able to repurpose old posts or like pull older photos to use as like a before and after, or to show and like tell a story about that time in my life. So if you don't put your captions in folders, start doing it, because a year from now, you're going to thank yourself. Okay, there's the timer on that. Guys, this folder has my potentials list from last November. So do you know what I'm gonna do? Because the way that I keep track of like who enrolls and who doesn't is like this one for November. I put little turkey emojis next to the people who enrolled. So I can see right here who didn't. So now I'm gonna take these names and I'm literally going to make it a point to like during my focused IPAs, like I'm gonna go in and interact with these people who were my potentials a year ago and kind of like re-spark that like friendship and connection and like push my stuff out to them again. Yes, follow up Fridays if you do that. I literally love the person that I was a year ago organizing my business like this because now like my November just got so much easier for me. All right, I'm going to set another timer and we will go on to batch another. Thanks, Ashley. Okay, and there's the timer on that one. Do you guys want to do one more or do you want to kind of open it up for some questions? Does anyone have anything that they want to ask or add before we close it off? You guys tell me. Christina, do you have anything that you want to add?
I was batching. I was also trying to look through folders too, like where do I got some stuff hidden in here? I don't have anything else, you guys. How are you feeling with your month, with your week? Let us know.
Yeah, so Cassie asked, so you have one folder for all of November. In that folder, you have a separate folder for potentials, captions, etc. Yes. So I have my November one, and yeah, it's got all kinds of different folders in it. I got a potentials folder, and then I have all of my like captions and stuff. And then what else do I have in here? I'm trying to see. Oh, I wrote out content ideas last year. But yeah, like literally I didn't have to batch anything just now because I mean, I literally like these are super bold too. And so I love it. I was like, yeah, I really, guys, I'm not kidding. I love the person that I was last November because I'm like, this is so easy now. So yeah, yes. Let's see. Yeah, month 2 of the 90-day push.
Yeah,
So
which
I
Lindsay will drop what that is. I don't know what, I know that there's more that gets added, I think every month. I don't know what's getting added. So you'll just have to put in whatever she adds to the like 30-day push for this month. Just add that into your plan. Okay,
Yep.
you guys, so that's just going to be like little moving pieces.
And I just want to show you guys before we do hop off, because we were talking about background work very briefly before we started batching. So this is what I mean when I say like I time block my days. So this is something that I do. So these are my my office hours. So in the morning, I only have an hour right before my kids get up. And so next to this block, I write out like, so for me, this is going to be self-development. This is going to be sending my boot camp message, my message to my team chat. It's going to be clearing my DMs, stuff like that, like my morning non-negotiables. And then this is going to be the work with me that I'm hopping on. And then down here in my bigger block, this is where I do my background work. So for me, it's going to be like my reel and my TikTok. It's going to be showing my team some love. It's going to be following up with all of my auto ship customers, you know, just the different things. That's where I plug in that background work, creating new story content, things like that. So I assign times and then I assign tasks. That way, when I sit down, there's never a question of like, what am I doing right now? Because when I did not assign tasks to those hours, I would sit down and I would literally scroll. I would tell my husband, yeah, I'm working. I would literally be scrolling Instagram, right? Because I had no idea what I was doing. So I assigned the tasks to those specific hours. Okay, I don't see any other questions. So I think we're good to close it if nobody has anything else.
All right, you guys. Well, I hope you have an amazing Halloween. Remember, there is no Monday Zoom tomorrow night. We still do have the work with me. I will be on with you guys bright and early. I am tomorrow. So I'll see you guys at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. No 8 p.m. Just a reminder, again, no 8 p.m. I hope you guys run out of this month with your pants on fire, run into November. Are you trying to show us your planner?
Yeah, because somebody asked what planner it is. So it's it's the Day Designer, it's called. It's from Target, guys. It was $17. It's so inexpensive and it's right at Target. It is, I love it. It's got literally like your times. So down here on the side are like your times. Over here is your top 3. You've got a to-do, you've got a gratitude, you've got a notes section. Like, it's amazing.
You guys, funny story for if you guys want to hop off. I'm going to tell you a funny story. I said to Rochelle, I'm like, girl, I found the best planner. I got so excited and I sent it to her and she's like, oh yeah, that's the one I'm using right now. I'm like, oh, what? Because okay, here's the thing, you guys, my Target currently does not have the one that you can buy right now. I bought for January 2023 because I can't get the one right now, no matter how hard I try. I've looked it up everywhere. So I'll be using that one in January and I'm super excited for it, but it is really, really, not gonna lie.
Yeah, she literally sent me the photos of it, like all the photos of like the inside of what it looks like. And I'm like, yeah, that's the planner that I have. I know, I use this every day.
It is good. So anyways, we hope you guys all have a great rest of your day. Happy Halloween to you, your family. We will see you guys in November next week as we plan. As always, our inboxes are open if you have any questions. Highly recommend getting on the 30-day boot camp. If you are not, I would start today, tomorrow, start it ASAP. You don't have to wait for a new month. Start it, get on that if you haven't. And that's all I have. So I will get this loaded to my YouTube as soon as possible, but we hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.